We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today, and so we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. Well, it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been Hey guys, what's going on? Jeff here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekly morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about a major rally that I expect to be coming to Bitcoin over just the next few months. And we're also going to be talking about this HBO documentary that is going to be coming out later on this evening. If you have not already heard, there is a documentary coming out on HBO called Money Electric, the Bitcoin Mystery. And people believe that in this documentary, they are going to unveil the true identity of the creator of Bitcoin, otherwise known as Satoshi Nakamoto. I said on stream yesterday that I think it almost impossible that they're going to have the answer to this, but I think it will be interesting to take a look at the betting odds and to take a look at some of the candidates and see what we think on this. So today, we're not only going to be talking about the price of Bitcoin, which is quite interesting as of late, we're also going to be discussing whether or not they have actually unveiled the true identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't think they have, but we shall see. Welcome to the stream. If you're new here, my name is Jeb McAfee. I've been working in the cryptocurrency space for the last 7 years, and it is my dream to help teach you how to truly build wealth in the cryptocurrency space. And the way that we do that is by going back to first principles. It's very easy to find a channel that can do technical analysis. It's very easy to find a channel that can tell you when to buy or when to sell. It's very easy to find a channel that can make a prediction and get it right half the time. What you're going to have a much more trouble finding is someone who's going to lay out for you exactly what laws and principles you need to follow and actually act on and motivate you and help encourage you to be disciplined enough to act on them so that you'll actually succeed. There's a plague in cryptocurrency. There's a big plague in cryptocurrency. And that plague looks like this. People think that they can buy the right altcoin and they're going to get rich. People think that they can just buy Bitcoin and they're going to get rich. People think that they can become traders and they're going to get rich. And the issue is, when you do any of these things, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to buy altcoins. I have altcoins. It's not a bad thing to buy Bitcoin. I have Bitcoin. It's not a bad thing to trade. We trade, right? It's not a bad thing at all. The issue that we run into is when we get into cryptocurrency and think that we can wing it and succeed. Friends, that is not how anything works in life. You can't wing it and succeed in anything. If you show up to a baseball game and you didn't practice, you're not going to win. You're not going to sit around all offseason doing nothing and hope to have a fighting chance. You're going to lose. You can't hope to show up to a test and not have ever learned the material and not have ever learned the principles that are going to bring you success and hope to pass that test. It's not going to happen. And the same thing is going to happen if you come into the cryptocurrency space, which is an arena fit for a gladiator, and hope to succeed here without the right principles and without the right education. And so it is my dream to help you understand exactly what principles you need to be following every single day so that you can succeed. And with that in mind, we will then use our expertise in technical analysis that I've been crafting over the last nearly a decade now. Excuse me. To help us understand where Bitcoin is going to go next, and we will combine our principles, combine a sneeze or two here and there, and we will combine what we've learned about our technical analysis and our projections, and we will use that to give us information on where Bitcoin is going to go next and how we should act to create the best possible chance of succeeding in the cryptocurrency space. So let's go ahead and read some chat, introduce all of you guys, and then we're going to dive right on into it. I've got a lot to talk about. There's a big movement coming, and there's some big news coming this evening that we're going to need to discuss. Sean O'Brien is in chat. Joe Bollier is in chat. Coin Operator is in chat. Philly Skills 1428 in chat. Wreck the Bears. Shout out to you. Satchet321 said, hello, missed a few videos. Back from my family holiday to Marrakesh. Shout out to Marrakesh. If I recall correctly, that's in Morocco, right? Isn't that the capital of Morocco? Yes. Shout out to Marrakesh. Heard a lot of great things about that city. Beautiful city. Shout out to you, Satchet. Welcome back. Verhofte is in chat. Silas E. Borg said, people are dying, can't afford more Cardano. That's not going anywhere anyways. Right. Drian12_1 said, recession on the way. I'm selling 50% now in case Kamala wins. Yeah, I mean, you're not the only one, right? Christopher Ryan said, Jeb, morning, everyone. Jeb, I feel like your acne has really cleared up since you started running. Yeah, it's really good for me. It's been almost 2 months. I've run every single day. I've not missed a single day. We've been through one hurricane just a few weeks ago. We're about to be through another one now, and we're going to be in good shape. Experience is the best teacher. Hurricane destroyed everything. You're in Florida too, right? Yes, I can. Can't buy Bitcoin when you have to sell for survival. If you're having to, here, I'm gonna challenge you guys. If you're having to sell your Bitcoin to prepare for this hurricane, you're already not in the position you should have been. I'm not selling any of our investments to be able to afford evacuating. Now, luckily for me, luckily for us, we're not about to have our house destroyed. But you should not be in a position where if the hurricane destroys things, or if you have to evacuate, you have to sell investments. You ought to be in a position where you have the right insurances to cover you. You ought to have a good home insurance policy. And you ought to have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, which should more than cover all of the deductibles on your insurance that is going to provide coverage in case something hits the fan. And you should have that savings in place before you start investing. If you have already started investing in cryptocurrency and you have not built a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, then I highly encourage you to follow the financial sovereignty way so that you have an emergency fund in place and you don't have to tap into your investments. Because if you have to tap into your investments, then you're stopping your investments from working, and investments really don't start working for about 5 years. They're lazy, man. They don't work very hard. You got to wait a while. When they start working, my golly, they'll make you some money. So if you leave them alone, they'll actually make you some money. So please do your best not to tap into investments unless you have to. Make sure that you're building an emergency fund. Now, obviously, with this storm coming, that is a little bit too late to start building an emergency fund. So if you to take money out of investments, definitely do that to make sure that you are safe. Safety is far more important than anything in this regard. Put all my savings into Cardano, then it stayed at 30 cents. Silas E. Borg, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. See, that's why I recommend people start with Bitcoin and Ethereum, mainly Bitcoin and stocks. People don't like it. You know, I'm going to say this, and then we're going to get into the chat, into the comments. And not to pick on you, Silas E. Borg, you're falling trap to what has happened to a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space. They just say, I'm going to put everything into Cardano. I know someone who actually, I just texted them to make sure to check on them this morning. They lost everything from Helene, you know, and they're about to probably lose everything again, whatever they had left from Hurricane Milton. They and some other people I know put money into Cardano very, very high up. Like $3, right? You know, and what ends up happening is when you deploy all of your savings into an investment, that ends up meaning that you don't have any savings, and it also means that you're really putting yourself out there. Start with getting your budget and getting a positive cash flow. Build a small emergency fund, $2,500, then get out of debt, then build a fully funded 3 to 6 month emergency fund, then invest 15% of your household income, take-home income, 15% into your retirement accounts, 401ks, Roth IRAs, in a well-diversified stock portfolio. If you don't know what to buy, just buy the S&P 500, but you can also buy some bonds in there if you want to lower your risk profile there. After that, start paying money onto your putting money onto your mortgage, paying that off, lowering your debt load, and then in step 9 of the financial sovereignty way, that's when we really start investing in other asset classes, because we've got retirement investments. We are paying off our home. That is when we're going to start investing in cryptocurrency. And here's my final point before we get on to the actual cryptocurrency content here, the technical analysis. What I find is I teach this stuff, and a lot of people go, bah humbug, Jeb, I'm going to skip a bunch of steps. And then, unfortunately, a lot of people end up realizing, wait a minute, Jeb was right all along, and I shouldn't have skipped those steps. And so a lot of people that are listening to the sound of my voice, drop a 1 in chat if you're one of these people. I'll drop a 1 in chat because I've done it myself, right? I've skipped some steps of the FinSov way, and then it bit me in the butt, and I had to go back and actually fix it. Now, that's in the past now, and we followed it the correct way. But what we're talking about here is that there's a lot of times where people will skip steps of the FinSov way. Because, oh, yeah, that's not very cryptocurrency of you. What do you mean we got to pay off all our debt before we get into crypto? What do you mean we got to have a fully funded emergency fund before we get into crypto? Yeah, I'm serious. Do it. And so people skip steps, get just annihilated financially because they skipped a step, and then they hear me say this and they think, oh my gosh, I should have listened to them in the first place. And so they learn the hard way. And so drop a 1 in chat if you've ever learned the hard way. Hey, no shame. I'm not putting any of you down. I'll drop a 1 in chat. Boom. I've had to do it. I've had to go back and be like, crap, man, I was not, you know, we had to fix the budget, right? We've had to do these things. There's a learning experience here. I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just saying, don't learn the hard way. Just listen and do it the right way. Follow the FinSolve way. Repent, slash and burn, build and maintain a budget, save $2,500, declare war on debt and get out of debt. We declare war on debt in the 4th step. That's where we start building our emergency fund. In the 5th step, we actually do the battle and we go to war on the debt, smallest to largest, IRS first, unless you can consolidate it into a personal loan, and then you can put it later on in the list. If you can't, then pay off the IRS before you pay off anything else. After that, save a fully funded 3 to 6 month emergency fund, and then at that point, after you've gone through the first 6 steps, you are in the peace phase. And I'm very excited to spend the rest of my life teaching that exact same process. 10 steps, not going to change. I remember crafting it. I was very excited about it. We followed it. It works. It doesn't need to change. It's about as perfect as you're going to get. Follow it. You'll be glad you did. And don't buy Bitcoin. Don't buy cryptocurrencies at all until you follow that formula in that exact order without rewriting it. Don't try and edit it. So, oh, well, I'm going to do my own flavor. No, don't do that. Do exactly what I just said, and you'll be glad you did. That simple. Let's talk Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently trading at $62,665. It is down 1.66% over the last 24 hours. It is basically exactly sideways over the last 7 days. And this is why yesterday on stream, we said that Bitcoin is going to have to prove itself. We said that based on all of our short, medium, and long-term data, that Bitcoin is going to need to break through this resistance zone right here between $65,000 and $66,500. If Bitcoin is able to break through that zone, then that is where we will become more confident about what the future holds. But until we get there, Bitcoin is not exactly in what you would call just this explosively bullish territory. It's really just not. We've got to spend some time getting Bitcoin up towards 65 to 66.5, and until then, we're essentially just building a head and shoulders pattern, and Bitcoin is still in a confirmed downtrend. Remember, the overall trend that we are in right now is a trend where we're trying to break bullish out of our medium-term corrective movement that we saw over the last 6 months or so. In that time, Bitcoin has rallied, and Bitcoin has managed to break up to 66.5, setting a few new higher lows right here, here, and here, a couple of higher highs right here and here. But if Bitcoin is not able to actually recover this correction that it's in and rally up to new highs above 66.5, then obviously this all could just be for naught, and Bitcoin could continue dropping to the downside quite a bit. And even right now, as we mentioned, Bitcoin appears to be building a head and shoulders pattern, so we're going to have to see how that plays out. One of the concerns also that we would have is that if Bitcoin does not go into a more protracted uptrend right now, then what we're going to likely see is a break bearish here that could lead down to the second or third price targets that we originally had. We had 3 different scenarios that Bitcoin could play out. Either it would bounce down to $60,000 and bounce, or Bitcoin could bounce down to our downtrending level of support here, or our uptrending level of support here. These were our 3 scenarios: 1, 2, and 3. And if Bitcoin is not able to have us, if Bitcoin is not able to break and hold above this uptrend right here for long, then what we're going to see happen is Bitcoin is going to end up having a difficult time going up above $65,000 to $66,500, and we may end up correcting back down to $60,000, even potentially lower, as Bitcoin continues to kind of trade sideways here moving into the election. Here's the thing. The election's coming, and we know that it has brought a great deal of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt into the cryptocurrency market, and so that has not given us the confidence that we're looking for Bitcoin to go on and succeed the way that we think that it should. And so we're going to have to kind of sit on our hands here and wait a little while and see what happens and accumulate. And so that is really the word of the day, is accumulate. Guys, I want to, let's talk about the way that this feels for a second. Let's be honest with our emotions. Hey, men listening to this, you're emotional creatures. You do have emotions. It's okay to feel them. Let's talk about an emotion that you might be feeling right now with Bitcoin. It's a word that shows up in my chat quite a bit lately. It's called frustration. Who's frustrated? Right? Who's frustrated? Who's frustrated right now with the cryptocurrency space? I'm serious. Go ahead. Tell me in chat, who is frustrated with Bitcoin? It's okay. Be honest. You don't have to put it in chat, but we like the interaction. We like being able to help. Hit the like button if you're enjoying. Who's frustrated? Part of the reason that you're frustrated with Bitcoin is because you can't control it. And that's deeply frustrating. You know, the most frustrated parents that I see are the parents that do not have control over their children. Have you ever been walking in the store and these kids are just completely out of control? They're just all over the place. They're running all over Kingdom Come, knocking stuff off the shelves, being absolute, total, what's the word? Brats. We lost our balls as a culture. No, they're being brats is what they're being. They're being brats, right? Why are they being brats? Because I'll tell you what, a 3-year-old is programmed to be a brat. It's like they were made to be a brat. If you don't do something about it, that's not the kid's fault. It's the parent's fault. And what are the parents when those kids are out of control? They're frustrated. You know, as a parent of 3 children, the times that I feel the most temptation to be frustrated, or let's just be honest, the most frustrated with my children, which I don't get frustrated with them very often anymore, especially because I've learned a lot, are the times that I feel like I'm not in control, because I'm supposed to be in control of them. I am supposed to have sovereignty over my children. I am supposed to be the one calling the shots. That doesn't mean that they can't come to me and say, hey, daddy, can we do that? Okay, maybe we can. Sure, let's do it. But I'm still needing to be the one that's in control. When a parent is out of control of their child, they end up being frustrated. So what happens? It's toxic for the relationship. The child is not being disciplined and led and controlled as they should be. They should be under authority, under control, and under discipline and under order. And it leads to a frustrated parent. So the parent is frustrated at the child, and the child thinks to themselves, oh my gosh, why is my mommy always frustrated with me? And the parent's thinking, oh my goodness, why does my child not obey me? And you see how the devil is destroying families. Because something, in this case, someone that ought to be under control and walking in lockstep with what their parents tell them, obeying the second time is not obedience, parents. It's disobedience. It's defiance. You have a biblical mandate to keep your children under submission. That's an unpopular opinion. Oh, by the way, it's not an opinion. It's a fact. When they're out of control, you get frustrated. Tell me you're not, and I'll call you a liar. Your kids aren't under control. You are frustrated with them. You know you are. Don't lie to yourself. Come on. Why are we frustrated with Bitcoin? Is it because it's not under our control? You see, I love the answers in the chat. Some people are saying they're definitely frustrated. Some people are saying, nah, not frustrated at all. Notice, I didn't say that I was frustrated alongside you. I asked if any of you guys were frustrated. Here's my challenge to you. And this is more important than the technical analysis. Here's my challenge to you. If you're frustrated with the cryptocurrency market, I think that you're looking at it in a similar way that those parents with out of control kids are looking at their kids. I think you're looking at the situation and thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I can't control this. This is frustrating because something bad is happening. I'm supposed to be able to do something about it, but I feel like I can't. I feel like I'm supposed to be able to control where the market goes, but I can't do that. What's going on is that you've been sold a bucket of lies. You can't control where Bitcoin goes, but what you can control is whether you have chosen to be financially sovereign. You can control whether you have chosen to live on less than you make. You can control to decide whether or not you are going to live on a budget and an investment plan, following our third law of money, which is to have a plan for our money. You can control whether you are choosing to get out and stay out of debt. You can control whether you are saving and investing for the future, and you can control whether you're being generous. You can control those things. And so I would be willing to wager money that anybody that says that they're frustrated with Bitcoin right now, not to put you down, but simply to educate you so that your life is less frustrating, you might not be doing one of those 6 laws. Choosing to be financially sovereign, living on less than you make, having a written plan for your money, including a budget for your cash flow and an investment plan for your investments, getting out and staying out of debt, saving and investing for the future, and also being generous. Now, there are other scenarios where frustration is natural. Like everybody in the path of Hurricane Milton right now. Oh, I get it, man. You just got hit by Helene. Now you got another hurricane coming. You can't control that. Guess what? You can't control it. When you can't control something that you wish you could, that's frustrating. I totally get that. I'm not putting anybody down in that situation. I'm talking about the average American here who is frustrated with Bitcoin right now. I would challenge you that it might be because what's going on is you have not decided to take control of those things which you can control. And so therefore you feel like you are out of control of your financial destiny. Friends, I do not feel at all like I'm out of control of my financial destiny, no matter what Bitcoin does. And so therefore, I have a better relationship with the Bitcoin market The same way a parent that actually controls their children in a godly, kind, understanding, and growth-oriented way, not a totalitarian, tyrannical way, but in a way that is intended to help them grow up in the fear of the Lord, that they may have a successful life, those kids and those parents are going to have a better relationship because those children are under control. And in your finances, when your finances are under control, you are going to have a better relationship with your money, with your spouse, with your family, and with your relationship with the concept of money management. You're going to actually enjoy money management instead of hating it. And so that's where I want to encourage you guys to look, and you're going to be glad you did. Silas E. Borg, my friend, I thought we were friends. What happened? Been listening to this guy off and on for years, and it's going nowhere. What's wrong, Silas E. Borg? Said, frustrated the halving was a bust. Frustrated listening to YouTubers saying, just listen to me. I've been listening to you. You have not helped in the slightest. No, man. So, Silas E. Borg, have you actually done it? Have you actually done it? You put yourself out there. I love you. I got to make a little example of you. Have you actually done it? Listen, and first of all, let's back up. That's not the point. You told me, Silas E. Borg. I wish you could call in right now and we could talk. See, this is why I need to get... As I get back, one of the things we're going to be doing is getting the calling system on. I would totally say, hey, call the number. I want to talk to you on the phone, have you on the show. First things first. If I recall correctly, you said that you were in the path of the hurricane. Are you in the path of the hurricane? I'm not sure. It sounds like you might be in the path of the hurricane. First and foremost, that's a terrible thing if you are. And if not, you know, a lot of people go through a lot of hardship. And our heart goes out to you if you're going through it. It really does. My heart goes out to you. The reason I'm here is not to talk down to anybody or to scold anyone, although I definitely sound like I'm doing it sometimes because I need to, because we've got to learn, right? But my heart is not to crush anybody. The Bible says that Jesus will not break the weakest reed, right? That's not the goal. Silas E. Borg said Tampa area. Silas E. Borg, shoot us an email if you need anything. You know, give us an email if you need anything. We would love to help however we can. Obviously, we don't have a lot of resources right now. At the moment, we're a small company. We're evacuating later on today because we live up near Gainesville. So we're not far from you, but keep in contact. And if you need something, we will help you however we possibly can. And I totally understand that what you're going through is extremely frustrating. Can everybody in chat come around Silas E. Borg? Let's just put the whole stream on pause for a second, guys. People are dying. Like, Hurricane Helene killed 12 people in Pinellas County. It's killed over 250 people or so. They're still finding bodies in Asheville. It's horrible. It's horrible. Silas E. Borg said, nowhere to go. I'm staying. Don't stay there. Send us an email. We will... I don't know what to do, but we'll try and find something. Silas E. Borg, if you're in the Tampa area and you stay there, your mayor said if you're in Pinellas County, you are going to die. That's what the mayor said. I don't know if you're in the Tampa area or if you're over in Pinellas or there. Do you have a? Okay, we gotta talk about this. This is important. Silas E. Borg, do you have a car? Are you able to get out? I mean, it's bumper to bumper. I know there's no gas anywhere. Do you have any way of getting out? I'm really worried about you now. You're saying you're gonna stay in Tampa. For anybody who doesn't know, the Tampa Bay area is under, most of the Tampa Bay major metropolitan area is, you're in St. Pete? Huh. Yeah, the person that I was just texting with this morning, who I will not name, you guys might know the name if I say it, but they just lost everything in St. Pete. Yeah, I got the whip, but nowhere to go. Roads are slammed, hotels full. Do you have a building there that you can get off the first and second floor? Silas E. Borg, do you have our email? Let me see if I can get in contact with you somehow without putting my own personal number out there. Oh, Sarah's got her... Where's Sarah's laptop? That's her laptop. Here. Sarah's laptop is logged into the customer service email. Get this up. Lucky I'm on the only high point in zone 10. Yeah, the hotels are full. Are all the shelters full? I know they've got a bunch of schools and stuff open down there. We were just in St. Pete. We went on a helicopter ride in St. Pete back in March. Sorry, April. Jeez. So do you have enough gas to be able to get out of there? Do you have any way of getting out of there, Silas Borg, and bringing your valuables with you as much as you can? Let's tell you what. So that you don't have to put over all your... abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Yeah, for real. The first thing that is important, I'm going to pull up our customer support email, and we'll try and get in contact with you and talk to you here after the stream. Not because I'm worried about interrupting the stream that much. I just don't want you to have to put all your stuff out there publicly, because I know that's not what everybody's interested in doing. Got hella ramen batteries and the like, ham and shortwave radio. Yeah, I've got the customer support email up right here. Silas Borg, can you send us an email real quick? I want to see if it'll go through. Can you send? And obviously, everything in email will be 100% confidential. I won't share anything out here. I just want to be able to see if we can help somehow. Can you'll make a burner email? Okay, you can do that if you want. I don't. Like I said, I'm not going to share anything that you would send to our customer service email. I just want to be able to get in contact with you so that we can help if there's any way we can help. You know, I mean, I don't have as many resources at my fingertips as I used to. I would like to. Sarah just texted me and says, is there anything I can do to help him? So she's watching the stream. Yeah, send us an email and make sure you put, if it's a different email that I won't, then make sure you say like, okay, this is Silas Borg from the stream. I'm going to talk to you and see if we can get, I don't know what to do, but if there's anything we can do to help, right? But, I mean, if I was a single guy, I'd go down there and give you a ride, but I'm not. I've got 3 kids, so we have to go. But, yeah. Sorry to hear that. Here, I'm going to Sarah's email. This is where the videos get edited. She does our editing. I'm going to put this over here and see if that comes through. Yeah, if you can get out of there, as soon as you can. Like I said, the mayor of Tampa made it very clear that if you're staying in some of those evacuation zones, it's extremely dangerous. Anyway, if anybody does not know what's going on, Hurricane Helene came through with 160-mile-an-hour winds over, landed near Steinhatchee, and led to the highest storm surge that Pinellas County, which is where Clearwater and St. Pete are, which I think St. Pete's in Pinellas County also. About 6 feet of storm surge. Most of the area is still totaled. They're still clearing debris. There's about to be up to 15 feet of storm surge there. Helene 2 weeks ago was the worst storm in the last 100 years that Tampa has experienced, and now they're getting a direct hit from the 4th largest hurricane in the history of in recorded history. So this is a very serious situation, which is why I'm talking to Silas Borg about this, because he is directly in the path. Yeah. So that's what I thought. All right, well, we're going to keep it going here, but Silas Borg, right now is not the time for you to be worrying about a freaking thing when it comes to cryptocurrency or the FinSov way. I just don't lose hope right now, whether you've made mistakes or not, and whether they were at the time unwise or not, whether we've made good investments, bad investments. I just want you to remember something. Jesus Christ is the King. He created the world. The book of John says that in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And it was by the Word that all things were created. The Word of God is Jesus Christ. He created all things. He created this world, and then sin entered the world and brought hell like hurricanes. Hurricanes destroying your freaking house was not part of God's plan. Natural disasters, death, war, famine, all of this is a consequence of the fall of man. And God gave us the Bible, which is a book, an inspired book by the Holy Spirit, cover to cover, about redemption. It is a book that teaches us about God's plan to redeem the world. And those that will believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and give their life to him and make him their Savior, they will be the ones that will inherit the new heavens and the new earth that will be perfect and will not have things like hurricanes that destroy your home twice in 2 weeks. When we follow Christ, we have a hope that passes any amount of hopelessness. We get to point to the King and say, nope, still got him. You can take my life from me. You can take my wife from me. You can take my kids from me. God forbid any of that ever happens. You can take money. You can take fame. You can take any of those things, but you cannot take my relationship with Christ. And that doesn't mean that he's going to save us from all physical pain in this life. It doesn't say that. In fact, when we follow Christ, we're going to be persecuted for it. That's the promise. But we will inherit eternal life where we will not have any more pain, where he will wipe away every tear, where he will have every knee bow, where he will comfort those that need comforted. When we follow him, there's actually hope. And I want you to remember that most importantly, Silas E. Borg, in the hell that's about to come right over your head. As it comes over your head, in the name of Jesus Christ, may you know, you individually, Silas E. Borg, may you know that that was not God's plan. That is an effect of sin. That is an effect and a consequence of the fall of man that happened. And Christ, in his love for us, came to redeem the world and save us out of that hell. And one day, we will be lucky enough to die and not have to deal with this crap on earth anymore and be with him for eternity. Brings a whole new meaning to Paul when he said, I preach with no fancy words. We'll be done with this crap, right? We'll be done with this nonsense. And we'll be able to be with him in eternity, in heaven. And then there will be the new heavens and the new earth, and we'll live there with him, and there won't be hurricanes. There will be perfect peace. There will be perfect harmony. There will be perfect unity. There will be perfect joy. So, with all of that in mind, please remember that there's a God who loves you. And while he does not always take away hardship, in that hardship, we can turn to him and we can have comfort and joy that one day there will be an end if we follow him. With that in mind, let's keep going. As far as cryptocurrency is concerned, Bitcoin is very likely going to go through a lot of tumult of its own here moving into the election. There is a great deal of uncertainty going on in the cryptocurrency space right now. There's a great deal of uncertainty going on geopolitically. Naturally, much of the southeastern United States is dealing with a lot of uncertainty, and I can't say that that has a major impact on Bitcoin, but we couldn't rule it out either. On top of that, we also do not have a huge amount of bullishness going on the United States stock market. We're at all-time highs, yes, but we've been trading sideways for a few days, which is, not bad. That's not a bad thing. It just indicates to us that Bitcoin is kind of waiting for a movement from the stock market. What we're seeing right now is a lot of sideways action, a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of time to accumulate. One day you're going to be glad that you bought at $62,000. Now that time might be 5 to 7 years from now. Guys, I don't give you a mark of confidence on any other cryptocurrency besides Bitcoin and Ethereum that in 5 to 7 years you're going to have a return. I don't say that on Cardano. I don't say that on Solana. Do I think you can buy them? Yes. Do I own them? Yes. Do I have as much confidence in them as I do in Bitcoin and Ethereum? No. And most of my confidence is in Bitcoin. I am quite confident that in 5 to 7 years, we're going to watch Bitcoin grow dramatically. Hundreds of %. I do believe that we're going to see the United States stock market grow dramatically in the next 5 to 7 years. So put money there. Control the controllables and trust God in the areas that you cannot control. Trust the Lord in the areas you can't control and control everything else that you can control. There's so much we can control. We can control whether we take out debt. We can control whether we live a life of extravagance and living on more than we can make. We can control not doing that. We can control our finances. We can stay out of debt. We can have a plan for our money. We can be radically generous. We can save and invest. We can make a change. We live in a world that is so beautiful, so incredible. What a wonderful, amazing world we live in where we can be autonomous with our money. We can actually set it on a collision course with growth. There is actually hope. How terrible of a prospect is it for most people in history and most people throughout the world that had no chance? They were born into communism. They were born into some kind of totalitarian regime. They had no chance. How beautiful it is that we have the ability to control so many things that are in our control. So many things because of technological advancements, societal advancements. We have so many things that are in our control. Capitalism is one of the most beautiful things ever created. And yet we sit here and whine and complain that we don't have control over our money. Nonsense, we do. We do have the ability to control our money. We do have the ability to control where we're going for the most part. We do have the ability to be in a church community that will come around us when things are going wrong. We do have the ability to make friends. We do have the ability to have a social safety net, is what they call it, right? We have the ability to make these changes. We've got to start being determined to have a self-determined life, to be a life led of godly principles that is led in a way that is going to actually benefit us. We've got to do it. The consequences are too great. I've watched so many people blame everyone else for where they are in life. And guess what happens? Nothing changes. Because even if it was those other people's fault, they're not going to come and help you. What are you doing? You're putting the impetus of changing your life for the better on the people that you say hurt you. You're putting the impetus on the people that you said to hurt you are going to come and save you. They're not thinking about you. Either one, it wasn't their fault in the first place, or two, they don't like you. The only person that's going to advocate for you is Christ. And after that, on earth, the only other person that's going to advocate for you is you. You've got to get yourself out of this situation. You've got to make a change. You've got to live on less than you make. You've got to get out of debt. You've got to make some investments in Bitcoin. You've got to be willing to buy Bitcoin at $62,000 because you think it's going to be worth more in 5 to 7 years. Could we be wrong? Yeah. Is there a risk in investment? Yes. Is there a risk in anything? Yes. Of course there is. We're dealing with a lot of risks right now. You want to know some of the risks we're dealing with? A hurricane's coming 150 miles south of our house, right? We're probably going to be fine. We're very lucky. We're very lucky that we're far enough away. We probably won't lose our home. We're very, very blessed. Thank God for that. I feel terrible for everybody in Tampa. I've been praying that God would somehow stop the hurricane in its tracks. Right? There's a lot of things going on. We're evacuating. Second time we're going to be evacuating. My wife seemingly has some kind of heart problems. Might have multiple sclerosis. We're trying to get diagnoses, or however you would say it, on multiple things right now. Can't drive. She feels like she's going to faint. She's had one big long headache for the last 2.5 months since our baby was born. And by headache, I mean she literally can't move sometimes. Like she's stuck in bed all day. It's very difficult. I understand. And this is not the first time that we've been through the ringer. And there's a lot of people that have been through a lot worse. But we've still, in those times, we've got to control the controllables. We've got to control ourselves. We've got to be self-controlled. We've got to be able to keep cool in the storm. And we've got to do our best to keep our composure so we can make wise decisions. And one of the things that we've got to do with cryptocurrency is we've got to stop freaking out that Bitcoin's trading sideways. Yeah, Bitcoin's trading sideways. Guess what? It ain't never traded sideways this far in the sky before. Look at this. We have spent now, except for that one day that we dropped down here, we've spent 225 days above $50,000. Bitcoin before spent a grand total of 60 days above $50,000, and here spent a grand total of 90 days. We've like tripled that. We've tripled that. Bitcoin has gone into a very large movement, right? We're staying up here. We're sticking around. Bitcoin's not done yet. There's a lot more to come. So have patience, have faith, believe in the project, be disciplined and consistent in your investments, follow the right principles, and the money that you're looking for will come. Now, let's talk a little bit about this. Money Electric, the Bitcoin mystery, coming out on HBO. I don't have an email, but we'll try and keep our eye out for it, Silas Borg. I don't see anything yet. Support at cryptojev.com. I don't see anything yet. Everything looks good on the email. We just had an email about 30 minutes ago come in. So yeah, everything looks good there. We're going to do our best to keep track of it. Do keep in mind, we're also evacuating, so I'm going to try and look for that as much as I can, see if there's anything we can do to help. I don't know if there is, but I want to be there for you if there is anything that we can do. But anyway, in Money Electric, the Bitcoin mystery, intrepid filmmaker Cullen Hoback makes a lot of money because he speculates on something that has no answer. Oh, wait, that's not what it said. Cullen Hoback dives into the origins of Bitcoin and the identity of its creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. The documentary film offers a thrilling, globe-spanning investigation with Hoback immersing himself with key players and covering never-before-seen clues and humorously unraveling Bitcoin's meteoric rise. Sounds like fun. Let's just get that out of the way. Sounds like a great time. Sounds like a really fun documentary. HBO Documentary Films presents Money Electric, the Bitcoin Mystery, a Hyrax Films production. Are they going to be able to unveil who Satoshi Nakamoto was? Dun dun dun. Probably not. Is this going to make a lot of money? Yes. Is this going to be a big thing? Yes. Are people betting on this? Yes. People thought it was Len Sassaman. Cullen Hoback, the producer, said that he confronted the person who he thinks is the real Satoshi. He said that yesterday. Len Sassaman died in 2011, so they definitely don't think that it's Len Sassaman. And also, here's the other thing. He confronted the person that he thinks is the real Satoshi Nakamoto. We make a strong case, and I think their reaction is in some ways more telling even than the evidence itself. It's important for the public to have a sense of who Satoshi might be, particularly if they're still involved. Sassaman's widow was not approached for the documentary. So a lot of people think it's Nick Szabo. So who is Nick Szabo? American computer scientist Nick Szabo overtook cryptographer Len Sassaman as the front runner on Polymarket. And he was someone that was involved in the early days because he was the creator of what is known as BitGold. If you don't know, BitGold was a predecessor to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin had a lot of inspiration from BitGold. So we can probably find something here. Investopedia's got an article on it. This was back in 1998. Nick Szabo created it. It was as you can see, BitGold was one of the earliest attempts at creating a decentralized virtual currency proposed by blockchain pioneer Nick Szabo in 1998. Although the BitGold project was never implemented, Szabo's attempt is widely considered to be the precursor to Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoin protocol. It combined different elements of cryptography and mining to accomplish decentralization, including timestamp blocks stored in a title registry and using proof-of-work strings. This is almost 30 years ago now. So, stay tuned. We're going to see who he thinks it is. Do you think it's Nick Szabo? Who do you think it is? I personally don't really buy it, but we'll see. I'm interested to watch it and see what happens. All right. More people saying that they're in St. Pete. Crypto J said, I'm on St. Pete Beach, Florida, literally the Cone Path. Lol, this is going to be fun. No, it's not going to be fun. You're going to die. Like, I can't sleep. I can't sleep tonight if I don't tell you that if you're on St. Pete Beach, you're going to die. Like, I'm not trying to be extra. I mean, it's going to kill you. Like, if you just stay out there on the beach. Hopefully, you're not actually going to stay on St. Pete Beach and there's some kind of shelter. Do your best, guys, to not get yourselves killed, please. God, I don't want to see one of... Christians pray and pray and pray, including me, that nobody will get killed from storms like this. You don't know how much we pray. Pray a lot to the Lord that people are not going to die from this. And then they go kite surfing. I'm just kidding, right? Please stay safe. I do not want to see you guys get hurt. That would be terrible. That'd be so terrible. All right. Okay. Hope your wife is doing better. My prayers are with your family. God protects and cares for us. That's right. He absolutely does. Sarah McAfee will be well. Look after her, God. He will. No, she's going to be just fine. She's going to be just fine. Doesn't mean it's easy, but we have faith she's going to be just fine. I'm like a cockroach. I'm going to make it. Good for you, Silasy Borg. Stay safe, guys. Really hope you've all enjoyed today's stream. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, guys, make sure if you've not already to check out NordVPN. If you haven't, NordVPN is the one-stop shop to protect yourself while you're browsing online. As you browse online, you're going to want to use NordVPN, and the reason for that is because Nord is going to keep you invisible and therefore keeping you safe as you browse on the internet. And if you do not use NordVPN, you are leaving yourself open to getting hacked and stolen from, which is a terrible idea because that's like a natural disaster in your finances. If somebody steals all your wealth that you spent all this time building, that was not wise. Please do the very best you can to protect yourself. Sign up for NordVPN with the link in the description box down below. Also, if you have not already, make sure to sign up for Uphold, because cryptocurrency is a place that you're going to need to be very careful. And in cryptocurrency, one of the things that can happen to you is you can try and sell at the top when things are getting hot and then not be able to sell because there's no liquidity. Uphold taps into dozens of other markets beneath it, meaning that you have the highest likelihood of being able to sell in a high volume event, low liquidity event, like a high top on Uphold. So make sure if you've not already, sign up for Uphold. It is a wonderful, wonderful cryptocurrency exchange and platform. They're trying to build a home for you in the cryptocurrency space, so make sure to check them out with the link in the description box down below. If you guys have enjoyed today's stream, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.